enjoyed composing music because obviously performing other people's music is great, and listening to other people's music is great, but I've always found, when you compose music, you can truly write music that's everything that you want it to be. It's exactly what you want.
I think as a composition student here, we get a lot of diverse experiences that you might not necessarily get at a larger school or in a larger program.
I was able to write a choir piece, and having been a member of the choir and then seeing them perform my work and Ian conducted my work, it was really neat to be able to write that and then hear my friends perform it.
Having such access to such a knowledgeable professor as Dr. Glinsky is, unheard of.
Having the composition lessons here at Mercyhurst and being able to work one-on-one with Dr. Glinsky in a really intimate kind of way so that he gets to know you and work with your strengths.
We're a small department, and if you can dream it, you can do it. So if you want to write an orchestral work, we'll have that performed. If you want to write a musical, we'll have that performed. If you want to write chamber music, you can do it. My teaching style comes out of my background and experience as a professional composer, working in a lot of different media and writing for dance and writing for orchestra, writing for chamber music, all different sorts of combinations.
It was really something to have professional musicians come in and play, and then you get to hear your string quartet in a hall, all the excitement and all the dynamic contrast that they bring to it.
We all kind of have our own styles, sort of. I come from a rock and roll folk singer-songwriter background. I also, in my childhood, really took interest with Celtic music, so I find that kind of plays a lot into my style, especially with my string quartet that I wrote.
This piece came about after many months of my research into the spectral school of music, of composition.
We also like to work with other departments. Some of our composers have had their music choreographed by students in the dance department. One of our students was a dance major and a music minor with a concentration in composition. And for a final senior project, she wrote a work for 2 pianos, and then she choreographed it, and then she danced her own choreography to the performance of the music.
I've been lucky in my senior year here at Mercyhurst to be able to work with an art student who's a studio art major. She's been making instruments out of ceramics, all kinds of instruments, flutes. She's working on zithers. She's working on some, like a hanging marimba, drums, just incredible works of art out of clay. And I actually am going to be working with her to develop some notation and actually write some music.
Many of our composers like to use their music to comment on current issues, from the environment to human rights and social issues.
I've been lucky enough to work with the theater program at Mercyhurst to score the Laramie project. And that was an extremely useful experience as a composer, getting to work with other artists and to work on music that expresses a narrative.
Another one of our composers wrote an original musical based on the personal experience he had working with refugees coming into the US from places like Iraq and Russia, and it was a wonderful depiction of real-life stories from the people that he worked with. Israel Yonatan Estrada is from Honduras, and a lot of his music has been influenced by his native country, and in particular by the indigenous music of Honduras.
The Divine Corruption is a 4-act opera, which I'm in the process of writing. I can't believe my eyes. I don't think I can bear it.
And I also recently scored an 11-minute silent film from 1909 called The Sealed Room. That gave me a chance to develop more mature music that would still tell a story within a contained plot line.
Working with Composers Workshop, I know has helped me because you get to relate to the different, your colleagues and the different guest composers that come in, and that helps to develop not only your own personal skills, but also helps to develop connections that then you can use once you're out into the real world and grad school and those kinds of things.
Such a knock out of a melody,
I think Erica weighs in. We had a master class in our student forum. Bobby and I had the chance to play some of our music for him and have him give us feedback and work with us on some improvements, some suggestions, what he liked, what worked for him. And then he came into our composers workshop the day after that, and he presented about where his music came from and what were his influences.
Ian and we've been friends since freshman year. I at least know for me, he's always been an inspiration in my writing. He was one of the people who got me to actually start taking lessons with Dr. Glinsky.
So last year, which was our junior year, we decided to do a joint junior recital, which was comprised entirely of music written by both of us. We both wrote 2 piano pieces for each other to play.
Composition is something that kind of can extend to a lot of different realms. I'm a contract major, so I'm not following the traditional composition path, but instead I'm taking music and business classes with the hope of maybe opening my own studio.
One of the unique things about coming to Mercyhurst is that I've been able to combine education and composition together. I would definitely recommend that anyone who is seriously interested about developing their skills in music and in composition to come and audition at Mercyhurst. I think that as a graduate of Mercyhurst and of the composition program, I think we're really well prepared to take what we've learned here and use it in our professional lives in the future. So I've gotten a really diverse composing experience.
You get to know all of the professors.
Such a strong foundation here.
It's just invaluable.
You get to make so many personal connections, really neat.
We'd love to have you come here.